So welcome to this week's video blog, and as with last week, I'm able to share some COVID related updates and also some non-COVID related updates in relation to work going on across the organisation. So firstly, as you'll hopefully have read in the weekly bulletin which went out earlier this week, national guidelines have changed in relation to symptoms to look out for that may well indicate someone's infected with coronavirus. So anosmia, which is the loss or change in sense of smell, has been added to the two previous symptoms of a persistent cough and a high temperature. So if you are experiencing a loss of smell, which can often be associated with also a loss of taste, or a persistent cough, or a high temperature, or a combination of any of those three, then you must follow the self-isolation guidelines. Would also recommend that you organise being tested, and as in previous updates, if you do get tested, please would you inform the HR team so we can keep track of staff who are being tested and maintain an understanding of what people's results are. So next, just a couple of HR and comms updates for you. So I've reported in previous video blogs about our COVID-related staff absence rates, which have been good. And I'm delighted to be able to report that those have improved even more. So as of the 21st of May, our COVID-related staff absence rate had reduced even further to 0.65%, which is almost half of the rate that it was a month ago on the 22nd of April. So I think that's a really, really positive message that you, our staff, are taking all the sensible measures to look after yourselves and your families and keep yourselves safe. And also hopefully that some of the measures that we're taking are having a positive impact. You'll have read in the weekly bulletin, the weekly update this week, about the offer of support that we've been given from Manchester CCG for all our staff to be able to access psychological support, if necessary, from an organisation known as Self-Help. So there were details on the weekly update about Self-Help as an organisation, and I would urge staff to access that service if they are feeling under stress, if they're finding self-isolation and lockdown difficult, or indeed if you're still suffering some psychological distress as a consequence of the impact of either family, friends or colleagues that have suffered from COVID. To support that, we've sent out a mental health survey to all staff to try to understand what your needs might be around mental health support. And I urge everybody to reply to that survey so we can get a really good profile of what your mental health and psychological support needs are across the organisation, so we can do everything we can to support you. And lastly, on this update, we are developing a notice board, an online notice board, so to try to reduce the number of emails that you receive, which I know is a lot at the moment. Anna Fox has been designing an online notice board which will allow you to access updates in real time on matters across the whole organisation, so locality by locality updates, specialist services updates, people services updates, and general news around COVID and other things. So once that's launched, we'll send out a link for you to be able to look at that, and we'll update the information on that notice board as and when news changes. So just some brief bank holiday weekend updates. Firstly, for those people celebrating Eid over the weekend, I'd just like to wish you a happy Eid and hope you have a wonderful time. Unlike previous bank holidays over the last month or so, general practice, primary care is not going to be open routinely. So we'll be providing out of hours care as normal. And I'm delighted that the rotas look incredibly healthy going into the weekend. And I'd just like to thank everybody who's put themselves forward to work additional shifts over the weekend. It is really appreciated. So the next update relates to an update that I gave at a previous video blog. So we're trying to learn all the positive and negative lessons from how we've had to work differently over the last few weeks during COVID, and undertake a wholesale review of how we deliver our clinical hub services going forward. So that work's progressed. So Chris Cheetham, our project manager for that piece of work, has put together a case for change document, which has been presented and discussed with the executive team last week. It'll be going to board next Thursday, and then have wider discussion amongst other senior management and clinical colleagues. The timescale for the piece of work is hopefully by end of June. We'll have undertaken the diagnostic process, surveyed staff, researched models of care and operating models from elsewhere, and hopefully put together a set of proposals for our new clinical hub operating model. And then from then on, we'll be looking to put in place a process to start to implement some of the changes so we can deliver on that. So we'll obviously update people as we go. We expect staff to be fully engaged and involved. A staff survey will be going out, so you can participate in that process, share your thoughts and experiences of working differently over the last few weeks. We'll post updates on the notice board. I'll share updates on the video blog, and also any written updates we'll share via email if we need to. Before I do sign off, I'd just like to welcome a new team to the organisation. So for the last 9 months or so, we've been working really closely with a GP practice in Buxton, Derbyshire, so Elmwood Medical Centre, who I'm delighted to say have finally joined us within the last couple of weeks. Whilst we can't do a proper introduction to the organisation for the practice, I'd still like to, through this video blog, warmly welcome Caroline, Rachel, Tim, Charlotte, the practice manager, and the whole team to GTD Healthcare. I'm absolutely certain that the relationship's going to be fantastic. From the meetings and the conversation we've had so far, you're a great team, and I'm sure you'll fit right into our organisation. The practice will fall within the Tameside and Glossop locality, so Warren Chute will be the head of locality for Tameside, Glossop, and also covering Elmwood Medical Centre to provide oversight and support of that practice along with all the other services we have in Tameside and Glossop. So that is it from this week. Tune in again next week. Have a great bank holiday weekend. And if you are working over the weekend for us, again, thank you very much. It really is appreciated by me, the board, and the whole of the senior management team.